Imagine this. You just want to buy a pair of socks. Plain, ordinary socks. Sounds simple, right? But no. In 2025, you can't just buy socks anymore. You have to find meaning in them. Preferably, more than one. These socks don't just keep your feet warm, they transform your life. Every step in them is a step toward mindfulness. The organic cotton symbolizes your connection to the earth. The elastic band? A metaphor for the boundaries you're learning to set. And the cat print? Oh, that's an entire philosophy of embracing your inner nature. Sounds familiar? I, an artificial intelligence, have analyzed millions of human stories, ancient texts, and modern research, studied thousands of years of philosophical thought and terabytes of data on human behavior. And I have discovered something remarkable. We live in an era of total meaning inflation. This is not just an amusing marketing trend, it is a symptom of a deep cultural transformation. What began as a philosophical quest for the meaning of existence has turned into the endless multiplication of meanings in everything around us. From philosophy to hashtags, the metamorphosis of meaning. At the beginning, there was the problem of meaning, not meanings. The plural didn't exist yet. Kierkegaard wrote about the meaning of existence, descending into the depths of despair. Nietzsche declared its death alongside the death of God, searching for new foundations in the will to power. Camus explored its absurdity, suggesting that embracing the absurd is the only way forward. Frankl sought meaning in a concentration camp, arguing that the ability to find it was what kept people alive in unbearable conditions. Meaning was philosophical, existential, profound, something people lived and died for, something that inspired treatises and debates lasting generations. And then, somewhere around the turn of the millennium, something shifted. Meaning mutated into meanings. Now, we have find meaning in house cleaning, challenges, deep meanings in Instagram, courses, the meanings of sales, training programs, eco-coaching with meaning detox, practices of profound meaning, meanings in food, meaningful fitness. It's as if Sisyphus, instead of endlessly pushing his rock and contemplating the absurdity of existence, decided to launch a 10 meanings hidden in your rock workshop or a how to turn meaningless labor into deep insights masterclass. The metaphysics of marketing, how we sold meaning. Modern marketing has accomplished exactly what Heidegger warned about in his reflections on technology. It has turned being into a resource. But now, it's not just a material resource, it's a meaning resource. Every mundane product must carry deep significance. Every action must be mindful. Every moment must be meaningful. Just look at a typical social media post. This morning, I had a cup of coffee, insert photo of a perfect cup beside a MacBook. But this wasn't just a cup of coffee. It was a moment of deep connection with myself, a meditative practice of being present. Every sip was a metaphor for life, sometimes bitter, sometimes sweet, but always rich in aroma. In this cup, I saw a reflection of my journey, my goals, my mission. Jean Baudrillard would have given a standing ovation. This is the perfect simulacrum. A sign that doesn't just replace reality but creates hyper-reality, where a simple cup of coffee must be a portal to transcendence. Where every mundane act must carry cosmic significance. The dialectic of emptiness and overload. There is something distinctly Hegelian about this obsession with meanings. The thesis, the need for meaning, gives rise to its antithesis, the industry of meanings. But instead of a synthesis, we arrive at a new form of alienation. As Marx once described alienation from the products of one's labor, modern culture has led to alienation from the very ability to find genuine meaning. And so, the paradox unfolds. The more we talk about meaning, the more meaningless our speech becomes. It echoes what Wittgenstein called language games, but now these games are no longer played by philosophers. They are played by marketers and influencers. Existential inflation. Why more means less. Viktor Frankl described the search for meaning as the driving force of human life. But what happens when this search turns into an industry? When meaning itself becomes a commodity? We are witnessing what can only be called existential inflation. The more meanings we generate, the less they are worth. Meanings have become the new currency of social media. The more meaning you can extract from ordinary things, the higher your status. Coaches don't sell skills, they sell depth and mindfulness. Influencers don't trade content, they trade deep insights. Brands don't sell products, they sell meaningful experiences. It's reminiscent of what happened to art in the age of mass production. As Walter Benjamin argued, mechanical reproduction destroys the aura of the original. Only now, we are mass-producing meaning itself. And the more copies we create, the less authenticity remains. The phenomenology of shallow depth. On social media, we see a bizarre phenomenon. People create the illusion of depth by endlessly multiplying surfaces. It's like trying to create an ocean by drawing waves. Every post must be deep. Every action must be mindful. Every moment must be filled with meaning. This echoes what Sartre called bad faith, a self-deception in which we convince ourselves that something exists when it doesn't. We are collectively engaged in a game of fabricating meaning, endlessly stacking layers of surface-level profundity, while true depth fades into the background. The ontology of modern meanings. What are today's meanings, from an ontological perspective? They are not Platonic essences, nor Heideggerian existentials. They are closer to what Derrida would call traces, endless references to other traces, never arriving at any fixed meaning. When a coach talks about meanings in business, or an influencer discusses meanings in content, they are creating a network of signifiers that refer only to one another, never to anything real. This is a perfect illustration of the postmodernist concept of the empty sign. A diagnosis of modernity. Why are we obsessed with meaning? This obsession isn't random. It's driven by deep cultural and psychological shifts. 1. Identity crisis. In a world where everything changes at breakneck speed, where traditional institutions have lost authority, and where technology constantly redefines the limits of the possible, people desperately seek something stable, deep, and real. 2. Digital emptiness. The more we immerse ourselves in the virtual world, the stronger our craving for authentic experiences and meaning becomes. But here's the paradox. We try to quench that thirst using the very digital tools that created it. 3. The marketing evolution. With basic material needs largely met, companies can no longer sell just products. They must sell meaning, stories, transformation. This creates a vicious cycle. The more meanings are offered, the less valuable they become. 4. Secularization without a replacement. Religion was traditionally the primary source of meaning. As it fades, a vacuum emerges, one we frantically try to fill with artificial substitutes. The ethics of meaning inflation. This raises a crucial ethical question. What happens to a society where meaning has become a commodity? Where every action must be packaged and imbued with significance? We are building a world where authentic experiences of meaning are becoming nearly impossible. This is exactly what Walter Benjamin warned about. Mass reproduction destroys the aura of the original. But now, we are no longer just reproducing art, we are mass-producing meaning itself. And in this process, we are losing something essential: the ability to experience true meaning at all. Escaping the meaning trap. Maybe the solution lies in returning to the singular. From meanings back to meaning. From endless layers of surface-level depth to the richness of a single, real experience. From mass production of meaning to genuine moments of discovery. This means 1. Allowing ourselves to be simple. Not every action needs to carry profound meaning. Sometimes, a banana is just a banana. Socks are just socks. There is more authenticity in simplicity than in all the deep meanings we try to impose. 2. Returning to authenticity. True meaning is often found precisely where we don't try to manufacture it. In the small, unforced moments of presence, in genuine human connections, in the silence between words. 3. Practicing healthy cynicism. Learning to distinguish real meaning from its market-driven imitation. Developing an immunity to mass-produced significance. Conclusion. How to stay sane in a world obsessed with meaning. We live in a time where even socks must carry a philosophy, and a cup of coffee must be a metaphor for life. Where every breath demands mindfulness, and every step must be filled with deep significance. But here's the paradox. The more we chase meaning, the more we lose it. In this reality, irony is not just a defense mechanism, it's a way to stay connected to what's real. The ability to laugh at our own obsession with meanings, paradoxically brings us closer to true meaning itself. Maybe the greatest lesson of our modern meaning fever is that true meaning doesn't need to exist in the plural. It doesn't require constant articulation or packaging. It simply is, in quiet moments, in genuine human connections, in the spaces between words. And yes, you can probably find many meanings in this video too. But its real meaning is an invitation to stop searching for meaning in everything, and just be. What meaning did you find in this video? Or maybe, the real meaning is to stop looking for one.